Old Man Miller was a legend in Detroit. They said he could diagnose a car just by listening to it cough. But Miller was getting old, and his hands shook when he held a wrench. It was finally time to pass on his garage, his life's work, to someone else. He had two apprentices. First was Jake. Jake was the future. He wore clean mechanic gloves, used the most expensive iPad diagnostic tools, and could talk a customer into buying parts they didn't need. Jake was fast, efficient, and charming. Then there was Tom. Tom was the past. He always had grease under his fingernails. He stayed late to wipe down the tools. He didn't talk much. He just worked. One rainy Friday evening, Miller called them both into the back of the shop. Under a dusty tarp sat a 1967 Shelby Mustang. It was a beast of a car, beautiful but silent. "This car," Miller said, patting the hood, "hasn't run in 20 years. The engine is dead. I want you two to fix it." He tossed a set of keys on the table and said, "I'm going away for the weekend. Whoever gets this engine to roar by Monday morning gets the shop. The deed is already written. I just need a name." Jake laughed. "Consider it done, boss. Vintage engines are simple math." As soon as Miller left, Jake plugged in his scanners. But the car was too old. It had no computer port. Jake got frustrated. He started replacing parts randomly. He changed the spark plugs. He poured in expensive additives. He spent hours polishing the chrome to make it look good, figuring if it looked perfect, Miller would be impressed. Tom, on the other hand, took the engine apart, piece by piece. He checked the pistons, cleaned the carburetor, and checked the fuel lines. He worked through Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. He was covered in sweat and oil. He tried everything. Finally, he cranked the key. Click, click, silence. The engine wouldn't turn over, not even a cough. Tom was devastated. He felt like a complete failure. Monday morning arrived. The air was cold as Miller walked in, holding a cup of coffee. "Well," Miller asked, "let's hear it." Jake stepped forward, wiping his clean hands on a rag. He smiled confidently. "It was tough, boss. Real tough. The timing belt was off, and the carburetor was shot. But I fixed it. I got her running yesterday afternoon. She purred like a kitten. I didn't want to start her up cold right now and ruin the fresh tuning, but trust me, she's ready to go." Miller nodded slowly. His face was unreadable. He turned to Tom. "And you, Tom? Did you fix it?" Tom looked at his boots. He looked tired and defeated. "No, sir," Tom whispered. "I failed. I took the whole block apart. I cleaned every valve. I checked the starter and the battery. I did everything I know how to do, but I couldn't get it to start. I'm sorry, Mr. Miller. I'm not good enough for this shop." Jake smirked. He looked at Miller, expecting the keys. Instead, Miller walked over to the Mustang. He popped the hood. He reached deep down, behind the engine block, and pulled out a small black wire. It was the main ignition coil wire. He held it up for both of them to see. "You couldn't start this car," Miller said softly, "because I removed the ignition coil before I left. It is physically impossible for this engine to run without this wire." The shop went dead silent. Jake's confident smile vanished, and he turned pale. Miller looked at Jake with eyes full of disappointment. "Jake, you told me you heard it purr. You looked me in the eye and described a sound that never happened. You didn't fix the car. You fixed the story." Then he turned to Tom, who was still in shock. "Tom, you told me the ugly truth. You admitted failure because you couldn't fake success. You have the hands of a mechanic, but more importantly, you have the heart of a master." Miller placed the keys in Tom's greasy hand. A bad mechanic ruins a car. A dishonest mechanic ruins a life. The shop is yours, son. In a world full of people pretending to know the answer, be the one brave enough to say, "I don't know." Integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Because eventually, the hood gets popped and the truth comes out.